I'm very excited. I am. I would love to pretend to be cool about it and that it's nothing, and I'm so nonchalant. But I'm hyped up. It was a big surprise and something that, I mean, I'm just so I feel so lucky to be part of this show and to work with Tony and the wonderful cast, and particularly Elle Fanning, who she's so wonderful in that role that it's like for the show to be recognized and for her to get nominated and for me to manage to snag one as well. I'm very excited about.
How are you going to celebrate today? And who was the first person that you called when you found out that you are nominated?
I called my mum and dad. Because, my mum and dad, I mean, I started acting at a very young age, and I guess I went to the first time I went to the Golden Globes was when I was 12 with my mum. So I don't know, like however many years on, it feels very exciting to get nominated myself. And so I called and just was like, hey, thank you so much for all the years that you took me to auditions and learned lines with me and all those things. And because so far I haven't messed it up too bad,
I'd say you're doing a pretty good job. You mentioned in your statement this morning, the first time you went to the Globes, you were 12, spiky hair.
There it is. I'm bringing that look back this year. I'll be at home on the sofa, and I'm gonna spike my hair up. I'm gonna wear that oversized tie and suit.
I was gonna ask, is there any way that the wigs from this show are gonna make an appearance?
It would be wonderful if they were. Obviously this has only just happened. It's very fresh, but I hope there's a way that I can celebrate with Tony, with Elle, with everyone. Also, this year is particularly special for me because two of my close friends, Daniel Kaluuya and Patel, got nominated as well. And we did Skins, I don't know, when we were 16 years old, we shot a show together. So I'm really proud of the work they're doing and the films they made. So I would love it if I can kind of get all the people that I love and care about and somehow isolate on a Zoom and celebrate somehow and watch the show together.
What are we thinking? Are we thinking like snacks for the Zoom party? Is it PJs only? We going back to the pinstripe suit again? Does it still fit?
I'm going to wear the same suit. I'm going to get it slightly altered, slightly let out. Yeah, there'll be snacks, there'll be drinks, I'll probably be on my sofa upstairs, and hopefully I don't have to work the next day too early, because that'll be a real dampener on things. But otherwise, yeah, I'll just be celebrating all the people that I love kind of getting recognized, I guess.
Elle Fanning, who also got a nomination today. Tell me about working with her and seeing her just in her element.
Honestly, it's incredible. I mean, I love doing scenes with her. She's a wonderful actress and also just person to be around, and we're very similar in terms of our work ethic and how we approach things. So it's really fun to be in those scenes and watch what she does. But also, there's a lot of stuff that I'm not around for, that a lot of scenes that she's in, and that's a really wonderful thing when I get to watch the show just as like a fan. I get to see how she's developing this character and the wonderful nuance and subtlety she brings to the character, and the strength she brings, but also the doubt and the kind of learning and the evolution of the character, because it's something that's it's not very linear in many ways, and she brings so much subtlety and wonderful humor and grace and intelligence to it that I really enjoy watching. One little tidbit or secret about wearing the costumes: I rip my costumes a lot. I'm very tough on buttons. Just yesterday, I think it was, my trousers ripped. Very embarrassing. But also, I think, I mean, Elle has corsets and the full deal. So for the ladies in the show, it's a lot tougher, the costumes. I'm pretty fortunate. I think my favorite costume was definitely when Peter got a dress, though. And that's something that I'm looking to bring back in season 2, is more dresses for Peter.
How do you feel that show like this kind of paved the way for other shows like Bridgerton and kind of getting out of that period piece mentality of just like these stuffy dramas?
Yeah, I think I really think it's a thing whereby I think we have this preconceived notion of how people in the past behaved and how they spoke. And it's wonderful to kind of break that apart and look at it in a way that you understand from a current perspective and can speak to people about what's happening in the world at the moment, current situations and people and environments, etc., but also make it slightly reflective or mirrored and put it in a different kind of packaging whereby it's it's very palatable, and you can watch it in a way that's kind of escapist but also understandable.
You mentioned earlier in the interview that you started this whole journey actually quite young. I mean, the first time you had the Golden Globes, you were 12. What do you consider your big break?
I mean, About a Boy was definitely my big break. Yeah, and the Whites brothers are still two close friends of mine, the directors of that film and who cast me. So I feel very fortunate to work with them. And Hugh Grant is nominated this year as well, and I love the work that he did. So yeah, I have fond memories of that and feel very fortunate to be a part of it, because it's something that kind of I think even at a young age kind of gave me an understanding of what could be if I worked hard and kept my head focused.
How did you navigate that at such a young age? It's a lot to wrap your head around at 12.
Honestly, that's I mean, I love what I do and I really care about it. So it's obviously a lot of that. It's just kind of putting a lot of focus and attention and hard working. But also, I got a really good family and friends who take care of me, and my parents, and people who just kind of went to a normal school, and kind of there's I think, I guess for many reasons there's like a balancing aspect to it. Of like moments like this are obviously big highs, but you also have to be aware that there's going to be, for a moment like this, there's also 50 or 100 or 1,000 like lows that you have to kind of power through. So I think it's, the people that are around through that are really important.
And you're one of the few who are able to have a successful career as a child actor and transition that to a successful career as an adult actor. How did you navigate that transition? And was there any kind of pushback at any time?
I don't think there was pushback. I think the most difficult thing was that I grew quite tall quite early, and so people were like, "We can't cast you for this age because you look too tall or too old compared to other people in the film." So that was that was something. But it's honestly, there was just kind of, if you look back on life, I guess there's moments that you put yourself in positions where if you're prepared and you're lucky, then you kind of can capitalize on them in some ways. And so, doing Skins that I mentioned earlier, that was a big step because the character was very different to what I'd played previously, and then that led to being able to do the film A Single Man with Tom Ford and Colin Firth and everyone involved with that. So that was like another step, because that was a film that was kind of recognized, and a big step for me, I guess. And then just, yeah, fortunate to kind of be working with good, talented directors and writers and actors since then. So you can always learn a lot watching people, how they approach their work, and steal from the best. That's definitely it's definitely my motto. When I'm on set and I see someone doing something good, I'm like, note that down, you'll need that one day, and then hopefully when the time comes, you remember it.